Appreciate you guys coming out on your day, busy day today, hopefully. And we're going to cover concrete products, patching, a little bit of tuck pointing, hopefully. I think I heard somebody mention that. We'll take care of that, hopefully, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so in concrete mix, anybody know what's in a bag of concrete? Sand. Cement. Stone. Very good. Very good. And Portland cement. You got it. So in our bags, which is down below, this is what our bag of concrete mix will look like. Okay? Comes in an 80, 60, and a 40-pound bag. That job can be used for anything from 2 inches on deeper. All right? Most people, when they're using that product, will have a hole. I think there's one back here, or a mixer, and they'll have their bed that they'll mix it in. All right? And they'll go back and forth with it, rake it, and again, that is for 2 inches. Sidewalks, mostly, put in mailbox posts. What else would you think you'd use it for? Fence posts, yep. Anyone else? Oh, we still put up laundry lines and flagpoles? All right. So that would you use that for? All right. Sand mix. All right. If you take the stone out of the concrete mix, you'd have sand mix. And sand mix is a topping mix. All right. So if you were talking about a situation you had about a crack, all right, such as this, you would use a sand mix on it. All right. So sand mix is a product. It's called topping mix, and that's what they'd use it for. That's for 2 inches on up when you're repairing products. All right? And then mortar mix, what do you think that's used for? Mortar, right? But what would, for brickwork? Very good. All right? You'll only use mortar mix for brickwork. All right?
What if you have one sidewalk and a big gap where like 2 inches down to the other, and instead of tearing it all up, you just want to put like a wedge?
So you have a walkway?
Walkway. This is actually my driveway. There's 2 inches from one piece of concrete to the next piece.
So it's lifted up?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go into that right now then. So we have a product. 2 inches is very deep. All right. So with 2 inches, you could use a sand mix, but you would have to use a bonding agent to that. So picture this. This is kind of like what you're talking about. You got a higher and a lower, and you would have to use that bonding agent, which is basically white milk. When you open it up, it'll look like milk in there. Let me see. This is what it looks like, okay? Don't drink it. You got that right. And you would apply it. You can apply it into the mix, or you can apply it onto this. And you always want to wet the surface that you're working on, because it's going to suck the moisture out of it, the mix that you're putting on top of it. But for what you're doing and you want to build it up, you take sand mix, real dry, and you'd build it up to that point, and you'd be fine. But if you have a smaller situation like that, we have a product called Top and Bond. All right, and that comes in a 40 and a 10-pound tub. And this is what it looks like. It's a vinyl cement. Okay? So let's mix some of that up.
Plumbing line 2, plumbing line 2.
It's going to take a little bit of time, guys. Sorry. Now, this isn't a product that's going to set up fast. Remember, you were talking about your situation where you have plenty of time to work with it. So
What's the top and bottom for again? You said
Top and bond's a vinyl cement, and it's for bird bath depressions. It's for when your concrete's lifted, like he has. If too much salt you put down in the wintertime and it's spalding, you would use it for that. So there's many uses for it.
What's the top and bond over sand mix and bonding agent?
This already has the bonding agent in it. So there is a polymer in here. And this one can go to a feathered edge, so you have it nice and even. The other one you'd have to, and it doesn't, sand mix doesn't really come in a small package. So if you only have a small job, this probably would work out best for you. All right.
Can you use that for foundation cracks?
No, I would not use it for a foundation crack. Vertical?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't use it for that. No. We'll use a crack filler, which we'll show you in a little bit. Yep. That's what I would use it for. Now, right now, this is really mixed loose. Okay, and I'm going to take my brush. And some of the best bonding you have is by using the mix you have. Even though I put that bonding agent on here, this just gives it a good opportunity to bond better. Work that in there. All right, one more time. I should have used less water. Okay. So now you see it coming together, okay? This won't set up. You guys pass it around, mix it up a little bit while you got it. Got it? So when you were talking about your steps, okay, you used hydraulic cement. That is not the product to use. Okay, why? You tell us why.
No, it sets up too.
Sets up real fast. How many times do you have to do it?
Oh, mix. Oh, at least 10 times,
10 times, okay.
if not more.
One of the things when you're mixing product in the summertime, hot water accelerates the mix. So if you have a fast setting product such as he was using in the hydraulic, the heat from the water will make it set up even faster. So if you want to make it quick, you can use the warm water. Today I'm using warm water inside here, but like in the winter time, you can do it, add hot water to it. If you want to slow the process down, you just do the opposite. You use cold water. All right?
Tools line 4, tools line 4.
Consistency is going to depend on what you guys are, how you're going to do the repair. Okay? So if it's a corner step, you want to make it kind of mashed potato-like. If it's something that has an edge to it, you can do it a little looser. And it gives you more ability to float it. But like this one, I'm going to do it pretty thick. I'm going to put it down on here, and then we'll mess around and trowel with it.
how long do you have to let it dry in between applications?
So again, you can go 1/2 inch buildups, 24 hours. Okay? Yeah, you can't do it right away. So the primer on there, it'll be good because it's going to want to take this product. It's going to want to suck the moisture out of it, which will allow it to crack quicker. If you didn't, I'm still saying that's a little loose for me because we're going to do it on an angle. So I'm just going to add a little more.
Herman, line 5, at Herman, line 5.
Now, products that you could use on it are trowels. Because this is a small project, I would use something like this. Okay, they have all kinds of trowels here. Clark and Devon. You have floats, magnesiums, finishing trowels. So it's all available to you, depending on the size of the job. So I'm going this on an angle. I'm going to use this. Now, I might put this down. You want to try this? No? Come on up. Who had the problem with the sidewalk? Yourself?
Yeah, me.
Come on up, please. So you'll see it's real easy to work with, okay? You want to work it in.
Easier than hydraulic.
Yes. And in the sun, it's going to set up a lot quicker. But you can even go thicker than that, okay? And work your edges. There you go.
So,
Keep going. Very good, thank you. You're talking about cracks in the concrete? No, I wouldn't fill that because you're only going to get the surface of it. You know, you want to get down to the bottom of it, and then it'll start cracking on the top. So we'll talk about kind of the crack fillers when it comes to the tubes. But very easy to work with. As he was saying, you can actually put a board up here if you want. You can feather right into the slope. Then come back the next day and then redo the other half. Exactly. Yep.
so no more than a half inch?
No more than a ½ inch. Okay. When you start talking some of the thicker sizes, you know, deeper than a ½ inch, then you got to get into real heavy duty commercial products, and they're not really ready available in our marketplace. So this is perfect for what you guys are talking about right now. Another product, since we were talking about hydraulic cement, we'll switch gears. Does anybody have any questions on the top and bond or the vinyl cement?
So when would you use that as opposed to just the sand mix?
I would use it in a situation where I want to get a feathered edge, right even exactly to where you're going up to, because the sand mix will end up cracking at the corners. This will not. Why won't this crack? Because of the polymers that are in it. And I don't know about you guys, are you good at troweling? I'm not a good troweler. So one of the cheat sheets that I've been told is when you're done and it gives you a rough surface, just go over the top of it with your brush, your broom, your paintbrush, and it'll give you a rough finish and it'll give you texture on your surface. So that's a nice cheat sheet. And it helps you clean up your edges. So, any questions on that?
What were you using?
Just a brush, paintbrush. Just,
Product on it?
nope. It had water and that on it, that's fine. But like I said, I'm not a good troweler. So. We'll switch gears into hydraulic cement. Anyone have a basement? Any of them leak? Got cracks in the wall? All right. So this is kind of representing a concrete basement wall. And this would be your crack. Most cracks aren't circular like this. Okay, this is just for example. Usually they're running down vertical, horizontal. So a lot of times what the instructions will tell you is take the chisel and chisel out a V into it. So they do have that here. Here, and take your mallet, just get in a corner where you got your cracks, you know, and just hit it and create a V in it so the material will grab, all right? And then we're gonna mix up some leak stopper, which is our hydraulic cement. We'll put that in a cup. Let's see. You should be good at mixing this one because it's hydraulic cement, right?
I'm going to dispose of the residue that sets up in that tub.
This one,
No, the vinyl cement.
you can take it home with you. Do you want it? Is that what you mean? What am I going to do with it later?
I guess I could. Yeah, I could. But the thing is that how do I dispose of the residue?
Let it harden up because it's a plastic bucket. Just hit it off the side and it'll pop right out. All right, so in the bucket, what's it tell you on initial set times? What's it say in the front?
3 minutes?
Okay, so because I used hot water, you want to talk about not working fast enough and water coming in? Pass that around, you'll see what it's like. You'll feel heat. It's already hardened up, right? So you got to work quick. It's the whole idea of hydraulic cement because when that water is penetrating through the wall, you want to stop it. So you got to work very, very quick. Got another can. So I will not mix that much in here.
How does cement expand into the cracker? Matter especially this variant can't pass it.
It's an expandable product. Yep.
So it'll find its way into the veins.
Find into the vein, it'll expand into it and create what we're going to show you here in a second. So right now that's pretty milky, right? I don't know if you can see it, but it's going to start setting up pretty quick. And as water's pushing through here, all right. I'm going to plug that hole like this, okay? And I'm just going to push it in. All right. If you had my gloves on, you'd feel the heat of the product right now. Did you feel heat when you guys used it? All right. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait because this is going to set up. All right. I get some of the stuff on the bottom. I'm gonna wait for a few minutes and we'll go on to something else. And once we do that, we'll shave it and you'll be even on the wall and that'll all stop.
Create that V wedge you talked about.
You do, because it's not gonna have anything to grab onto, okay? So if you're just taking it real soupy and just pushing it in, all right, you're not gonna get it all the way into that crack, because most of the cracks,
Like a long crack along, like the edge of the brick, not the brick, the cinder.
so on the,
I have a cinder block basement. and like a long cinder
Plexiglass for
cracks.
Houston is ready up front.
It's cracked. Like, I can
Plexiglass
see
for
through it, but I don't
Houston
wanna, like,
is ready up
chisel out
front.
a big wedge in there.
how deep is it?
I guess I should measure it by the time.
Yeah, measure it, but I would take it, then I would take that and just skim coat it on the outside, or on the inside, and let it set up.
About the whole wall.
I'd buy a surface bonding cement to do that, because this is expensive. That'd be too expensive to do it that way. Okay?
What would you buy?
It's called surface bonding cement. Do you have paint on the wall, or is it just a gray block?
They painted it like 30 years ago.
That's a bond breaker. So you need to get that material off before you do that.
Lock, line
Okay.
one, lock, line one.
Any questions on hydraulic cement and that patching? Okay. Let's say that again. Oh. I'm not quite sure what you mean by sheathing. Like coating on an outside of the wall? Above ground or below?
Outside, the foundation, like a brick wall, and then they put sheathing on the bottom of the
I'm not sure. Sorry. Not this, yeah, this one's too. That's the product that I just used on there. And again, you can pass that around and just see how hard it is. You're not going to be able to do anything with it.
I've had cases where the cinder block decays on the outside
Mm-hmm.
and the inside fills up with water. And then it comes in through the mortar,
Mortar joint?
through the mortar.
Okay.
So what you use hydraulic.
Got to fix the mortar joint. Okay, so you got to tuck point that. So grind it. Take your mortar, tuck point it in with your joint. All right. And then from there, you want to go on the inside and fix that.
So do something from the outside first.
Yes. Yep.
So you'll show us some tuckpointing later?
I'll show you some tools. I brought some things. We'll show you the tuck pointing, but we'll go through that. Not a problem. So, the next one would be our other product called Fast Setting Cement Patcher. All right. Okay. One more mess over. So how many people have steps that have corners missing out of them?
Lock, line
Or
one,
you-
lock, line one.
Wrought iron fencing going down? So to get the to redo your bolt, we have a product called anchoring cement. Again, sets up very fast. I did this at noon, okay, just so you could see, because I didn't want to go through the process. But that's your anchor bolt that you would put in there for, usually there's 4 of them for your railings, or possibly one big one that you would screw on. So you can repair that by chiseling out the hole and redoing the anchor so your posts aren't shaking. And that's the product you would use. You could even peel that stuff off if you wanted to, but That's with anchoring cement and your rails. If you got heavy machinery and you want to anchor something down, that's the product you'd use. So this is simulating kind of a repair on your steps, all right? And it's kind of either a crack or a hole or your concrete's pulled away from it, and we want to fix this, all right? This is the product, fast setting patcher, fast setting repair mortar. We've changed some of the packaging on it. And I'm going to mix this up. Fast setting in the time is not as fast as hydraulic, but it'll give you about 30 minutes to work with, which is kind of nice when you want to just do a quick repair, open it up to traffic right away, and be done with it. So someone will say, well, what's the difference between that and top and bond, right? Because we already fixed this. Well, top and bond has a bonding agent in it, number one. Number two, you can go to a feathered edge with it, right? And you get about 45 minutes, an hour, probably 2 hours to work with it. This product's still good. I want to play around with it. This one is if you want to do the repair quick and open it up to traffic. All right? Oh. Top and bond would work there too.
I have some stairs that are separated from that wall,
Mm-hmm.
which is a brick wall, and there's that crack in there. So what would I use to kind of fill that crack temporarily till I get
I would put sand down there first, kind of give it a base.
the sand mix?
Just plain old sand. All right? Because you don't know how deep it is, right? All right. So put some sand down there, compact it, and then I would use a crack filler because you're going to need something to bind to the existing and be flexible because you're going to get the freeze thaws. And I would use one of those products there, and we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Okay? So. Fast setting cement patcher.
So this is for cracks?
This is for if you're missing pieces of concrete off your sidewalk.
Uh-huh.
All right, this is the product you would use.
Would I use this for a big crack in the floor of
No.
my garage?
Between your garage and your concrete floor.
No, I have a big crack. It's a concrete floor in my garage.
Okay.
And there's a big crack that runs about 2-3 feet.
Okay.
Ants love to live there.
How long is it?
It's about 2-3 feet.
You probably could get away with it if you mixed it up soupy and poured it in.
Or would I be better off with the top and bottom?
I would say this one.
Oh,
So by the time you probably leave, this will be pretty much starting to set up. What are one of the things I told you we should do? Put what? Product in there, wet it. You got it. All right. So.
Is there a need to miss sunny weather? So using like top and bond feathering or setting up a pond sunny, basically keep it down for setting.
Once it's setting, not really with that product. Just a good trowel and then brush it when you're done would work real well. So as you can see, this is pretty much pretty wet. All right, so I'm going to put it down this way. I'm going to work it into here. I'm going to let this set up a little bit, and then I'll come back with a brush. Push this up against here. So if that was your concrete step, put a board up in front, okay? Just let it hold on, sit up there for a while. And as it's starting to set up, you'll come back, pull it off, and you can brush the top, and you'll have it repaired. No. Again, it's an expensive product, so you can get away with more on the caulk side of things than you can with these products, because you're just spending money at that point in time. Not that you don't want to sell it, but I think your best bet is with these products. Okay? Any questions? Any questions on the repair part? Okay. How many people forget to clean their trowels? How many splash concrete when they do work? This is a product that we have. It acts as an acid, but has no side effects of an acid. So if it, got on the grass, got on the bushes, it's not going to hurt it. The guy that demoed it sprayed it in his mouth. I'm not going to do that. Love you guys, but not going to do it. It'll attack anything cementitious. It'll foam on it. And then once water hits it, it stops activation. So it'll stop working. So if you got rusty trowels, if you've got old cement on your car bumper, spray it on there. We saw a lot of it at the fencing guys that, they've got their mixer on the back of the truck and their lights are all covered with concrete. They spray it on there. It'll work on anything cementitious. It'll work on. Okay? Comes in a spray bottle and it comes in a 5-gallon bucket. So, any questions on that? Okay. Anyone tell me what accelerator does? Speeds up the time, right? So in the wintertime, it's liquid calcium chloride is what it is. And basically, guys that are doing mortar work, concrete work, they'll pour that into the mix, accelerate it. So in case you guys are doing some kind of repair work outside, you'll get to use this product. It just accelerates it. Sucks the water out. Yes, it will. You betcha. Some of the tools of the trade, just so we cover all the bases. If you need to get a jackhammer to jackhammer out any of the concrete that you're trying to repair, we carry it here. Tampers, okay? So if you want to tamp your base, they sell that. If you're doing, say, a patio paver lot, you'd use this for that, okay, for your base. Get a nice solid base down. You got a saw to cut your concrete, all right? If you're doing a big job, every 4 feet, take your saw, cut your joint. That's what that's used for. It'll cut cinder block, it'll cut pavers, you name it. We talked about the trowels. Anyone tell me what this is? Expansion joint. What do you use it for?
Cut the 4 feet, gives the concrete.
Gives it. You got it. Very good. Very good.
Can you say that again?
Did you hear him?
I didn't hear.
Okay, so this is an expansion joint. So at every 4 feet roughly on a concrete, like when you walk down a city block, we'll cut it. A lot of times you'll see this material put in between the 2 slabs. And it allows the concrete in our climate a free thaw to give. Okay?
What is that stuff made of?
I'm not sure. Anyone tell me what this is? Rebar. Okay? Many uses for it, right? You can use it on block work. You put it down in a hole with a block, grout it for stability. They'll drill it into concrete. All right, so like your concrete garage is meeting, say, your concrete driveway. They'll drill holes in it. Okay, put that material in there. They'll use a fast setting or a quick setting epoxy into the hole. Hold it there for a few minutes, and you got set up. And this way, when things start to pull away, your concrete driveway is not pulling away. So that's what that's used for. All right. Crack fillers. Here again, we're talking about all the crack fillers that are out there in the marketplace. These are just channels, and you guys can come up and play with the material.
Customer assistance and tools, aisle 2, please.
All of them have a different color, and it just depends on if you like the Battleship Gray. I like this product because it kind of takes on the color of concrete, and it's very flexible. It has a little sand in it. And this is our concrete mortar repair. So if you had to just repair your mortar joint quickly, you didn't want to go and do all the work, you could put that in it. You could put this into your crack, okay? Gives you a Battleship Gray look, okay? I made these this morning. You can pass that around, and they'll be a little tacky, but just so you get some kind of idea of what it's like, you're not going to hurt it if you push on it. And this is one that I'm a big fan of. It's called self-leveling. All right? Did this probably about 11 o'clock. And it'll probably be a little tacky. And that one we did probably around 12. So just be a little careful with it. When you guys play with it on the gun, all right, you can see how it flows and fills in. But this one will seek its lowest form into your crack. And it's very rubbery, and it's got a polyurethane in there. So it sets up, and it'll last a long time.